Hi all, welcome to session 11 of Azure Data Factory, and in this session we are going to see the last option of the source tab in our copy data activity, and that is called as list of files. Now let's go to Azure portal. Okay, let me go to my resource group. I'm going to open my Data Factory studio, and simultaneously I'm also going to open my data lake. In the data lake I'm going to go into containers, data. Fine. Okay. Fine, let me go back. Customer source. Cool. So, the option that we are going to discuss today is called list of files, and this is the third option for file path type. So far, we have seen file path dataset, wildcard file path. This is the last option that we are yet to explore. So in this case, before going into this, let's just revisit what we understood with file path in dataset and wildcard file path. When we click on file path in dataset, we are asking Azure Data Factory to use the file path that we have hard coded in our dataset. So it's by default going to go to customer source and pick customers.csv file. So that means it will go into customer source and it is going to pick customers.csv file. So this is the first option. When we go to wildcard file path, you have the liberty to either hard code or you can parameterize it. So we saw how to parameterize this. So we actually gave the pipeline parameters as source file path and source file name. Now suppose you have a folder structure in your source, and out of the folders you want to fetch the selected files in sync. So you don't want everything, you only want selected files from selected folders to go into sync. In this case, you can use something called as list of files option. So list of files option is like you are providing a configuration file to your ADF pipeline, and the copy data activity uses that configuration file to get the data from your source, and only those files that are present in that configuration will be put into sync. Now for this, you have to make sure that in your source you are removing the file name. So this is not this should not be there. So file path should not be there. As you can see, it said list of file. Let me just, yeah, so point to a text file that lists each file that you want to copy. So that means you are saying that I am providing you the names of files that I want to copy. So in that case, you have to remove this thing. So let me just remove it and publish. Fine. And now I'm also going to remove these two parameters. Let me remove source file path and let me remove source file name. We don't need this anymore. Again, I'm saving my changes by publishing. Fine, I'm good with this. Now it is asking me to browse a file where the file is located, but we are yet to prepare that configuration file. So let's prepare the configuration file first. Let me open the notepad. And in this, we are going to say that what we want to fetch, what are the different files that we want to fetch. So suppose we want to fetch customers. Okay, So since we are already going to give customer source here, because it is already present in data set customer source, so whatever is inside the customer source, only that part should come in our configuration file. So I'm going to say directly pick the config customers new.csv. These files are same as customers.csv. I have just renamed them. Okay, so you can just rename and play with the same file. So I'm going to pick customers new.csv. After that, I'm going to go into folder A, and I'm going to use this file. So again, I'm going to copy from customer source everything, and I'm going to say I want this. Again, I'm going into container data. I'm going to go into folder 2. There is customer C2. I'm going to say I want this file. Again, pick everything after customer source forward slash, hit here, go back, folder 2. Let's go to folder 3. We have customer 3, so we want folder 3 customer 3, and everything should be like every new file should be at a new line. And let me go and pick this one. Okay, now use this and save. Okay, so we want customer new.csv. From folder 1 folder A, we got customer a1.csv, again customer c2.csv. So these are the 5 files out of the source that we want to put into sync. Let me just save it, and it is going to be saved as text.csv. So I'm going to say config.text. I'm going to say save. So I have saved it. Let's close this, and let me put this thing, this configuration, into our data set, into our data lake. So let me just create a new configuration files directory, and in the configuration files I'm going to put my configuration file. Let me put that config here, upload. Okay, so my config file is in place. Let me again just go through that one more time. So we want customer underscore new.csv, customer a1.csv, customer c2.csv, customer 3.csv, and customer d3.csv. So these are the 5 files that we want from our source to be copied to sync. Now we are good with it. Let me go to data. We are good with the customer's source, customer source. I have removed the file name. Let me go and check the sync data set. So I'm going to say I want to preserve the hierarchy. I want to parameterize the file path and file name. Fine. So let's validate everything. It's looking good. Now I'm going to point my data factory pipeline to the configuration file. So I'm going to say use this configuration file. Okay, and since I don't want skip, I don't want the skip line count, I am putting it at 0. I'm going to say publish everything. Okay, we are all set. Fine, there is no error. Let me run the pipeline. So I want to say I want the data into customers hyphen sync. I'm not giving the file name. So file name in the preserve hierarchy will be same as the source file name. So let me run it. The pipeline is successful. Let me click on the specs. So as you can see, there was a file transfer of total 86 kilobytes. 5 files were written. As we know, we had only 5 files in our configuration file. So let me open that. These were the 5 files. So for sake of simplicity, let me open my configuration file so that we can match the files in our sync directory. Okay, so let me go back into my data container, customer sync. So we wanted customer new.csv. Yes, it's there again in the folder one. I wanted folder A and then customer a1.csv. Yes, it's there. Now I want it in folder 2, folder C, C2. Yes, it's there. And in folder 3, I wanted customer3.csv. Yes, it's there. And folder D, I wanted D3. So as you see, we have copied all the required files using the configuration from source to sync, and rest of the files from the source were not copied. So this thing is done when you are very sure that, okay, I want these files from these locations. So when you don't want to copy everything from your source, but you have a fair idea what you want in sync, so instead of parameterizing everything and then looping over those parameters, or creating a configuration and doing things that way, you can use list of files. So this is a straightforward option where you can create a .txt file, store everything that you want to copy from source to sync, and then point your data factory pipeline to that configuration. It is going to use this and copy the data into sync. But this I have never seen being used much in the industry, but still, for sake of understanding, you should know that this is also an option that can be helpful when you are very selective about the files that you want to copy into your sync. So with this, we are done with our general tab and we are done with our source tab. So every option we have explored in the general and source tab. Now we are going to go through the sync tab. So let's meet in the next session and let's explore the sync tab of our copy data activity in ADF. I hope you like this session. Please like, share and subscribe and comment if you like my videos. Thank you so much.